Is the region in the midst of a doom loop? It's our big story tonight. The Portland Metro Chamber's 2025 State of the Economy report is a lengthy data and graph-filled webpage that paints a less than ideal picture of economic metrics here in Northwest Oregon. And less than ideal may be generous. Population loss in Multnomah County, regional job losses despite the national labor market growing. People, quote, voting with their feet, leaving the Portland area due to high housing costs and taxes. And when it comes to real estate attractiveness, Portland ranked 80th out of 81, second to last in attracting outside investment, in front of only Hartford, Connecticut. And those are just some lowlights from the report's executive summary.
Layoffs pile up as Portland biz bankruptcies soar to a 12-year high. Are you shocked? Is this what happened? No, this is part of the doom loop doing its thing. You've got shenanigans in Portland that are being played out because of years and years and years of terrible policy that is essentially anti-business. And Portland is reaping the results. Washington State, we're right behind you. We don't quite have the taxes that you guys have already put in place, but we're working on it. West Coast, best coast, right? Yeah, West Coast, most expensive coast by far, just with taxes and everything else that you kind of layer in there. Oregon's small business scene just lived through its roughest year in more than a decade, and Portland area operators are feeling it on every block. Spike in bankruptcies in 2025 hit storefronts, suppliers, nonprofits alike, squeezing already thin margins for mom and pop shops. Local leaders say the wave has left key business districts and service providers exposed to a string of knock-on losses. Well, when you are anti-business and you have incredibly high taxation, you have a downtown core that has been absolutely decimated. Hundreds of millions of dollars of loss in value, billions of dollars in loss in value because businesses have left. It's not a shocker that bankruptcies are tippy-top, right? They're going to the moon. Did we go to the moon? It's hard to say, isn't it? Roughly 250 Oregon businesses filed for bankruptcy protection in 2025, the most since 2013. State's business filing rate climbed nearly 4 times faster than the national pace. That's the thing we've got going on. On a national level, you've got other things happening. You've got downtown cores kind of sorting things out. But in Portland, because of your taxation, your anti-business climate, nobody wants to invest in Portland. High bankruptcies, high cost of living. It's kind of this perfect storm for this doom loop that Portland isn't recognizing that they're in. If you look at multiple news stories, you'll say, is Portland in a doom loop? You know what I mean? And it's like, when are you guys just going to realize, yes, you are. And you don't have any leadership that's going to be able to turn it around, because you need to have essentially a group of Republicans come in and run your city for you. And you're not going to do that because the voting public in Portland collectively has their head up their ass. So there you go, right? Oh, we think that's a good idea. Defunding the police, a good idea. We hate ICE. All right. Okay. Yeah. We'll see how that works. Oh, it's not working out good already. Yeah. Weird. Paper's breakdown shows the jump spread across hospitality, retail, small manufacturers, and contractors, not just one troubled niche. That total marks a sharp turn from the quieter post-pandemic stretch that followed federal aid and loan forbearance programs. So you had a period where all that federal money sloshing through the system kind of made things hold together for a while. Now you're seeing the wheels come off the cart, because the wheels are coming off the cart and you don't have leadership. When you've got leadership in Portland looking around going, everything's good here. Good, guys. It's all good. Everybody's walking around getting ice cream cones in downtown Portland. It's all fine. And then you have guys like me reading these stories. Which one is it? Which one is it, right? Yeah. Oh, everything's good. It's fine. It's all good. So you got a nationwide wave of commercial filings. Yep, you do. This is not just Portland, but Portland has that special herbs and seasonings mix of all of those protests, terrible leadership, anti-business climate, high taxes, hammering on the federal buildings. Now you've got losers, Looney Tunes, just mentally compromised individuals pounding on the ICE facility, protesting in their furry outfits, right? Playing grab ass with each other in their furry outfits. That's not exactly conducive to businesses making money, is it? That's not exactly incentivizing. Hey, come to Portland. It's a great place to do business. Big name layoffs rip through the economy. You got health system trimming back hundreds of administration jobs. Those higher wage cuts shrink demand for everything from office food service, local maintenance contractors, and even a marginal business can push a marginal business into bankruptcy, into insolvency. And that is what we're seeing. We're seeing, bankrupt, can't make it. There's not enough industry going on in Portland to support so many of the smaller businesses that depend on your downtown core to make a go of it. Nike's layoffs at its Beaverton campus the previous year also took hundreds of customer households and suppliers out of the local economy. Big shocker there. Small shops and nonprofits take the hit. In December, 53 Oregon nonprofits collectively owed about $766,000, got taken down by a fundraising platform bankruptcy. Just couldn't make a go of it. Not enough business going on. Public court trackers show dozens of business cases filed in Oregon in 2025. 64 business bankruptcy cases for the state last year. Instead of shutting them down, bankrupting them because they got so much debt, they took on so much debt that they couldn't make a go of it. And that's what happens in a high tax environment. Not pushing anything. You got a bunch of Democrats sitting around going, what do we do, guys? What do we do? And they're just they're helpless toddlers because they're mentally incapable of understanding what a pro-business environment looks like. Just like Washington State. Look at the mental idiots we have here, starting with our governor. And then we got a socialist mayor that doesn't know anything about anything. And then, I don't wonder, you don't wonder, but the rest of the constituents in my state that all voted even more blue wonder, why aren't things going well? I don't get it. This is shocking. This is a new revelation. What is happening? They just live in these little bubbles, these little tech bubbles, and, can't work their way out of a wet paper bag. So is this shocking? No. And we just recently had Portland's 2026 State of the Economy from their Portland Metro Chamber. It shows clear warning trends amid stalled population growth and job losses. It's all over. This is all over the media. You got a problem, guys. You need to fix it. You don't have leadership that can fix it because you just got a bunch of people that all they know how to do is run around, grab ass, protest ICE, raise taxes, spend on homelessness. You need to be doing the opposite of whatever Portland's doing right now. Have it be opposite Groundhog Day for a while. Do the opposite. Enforce the law. Arrest those doing drugs in the public. Sweep out the homeless encampments relentlessly. Enforce the law. I already said that, but it needs to be said twice in 4 points because that's how you tell people in Portland, this is what you should be doing. You know what I mean? Lower those taxes. Oh, you can't because you got to pay for all these ridiculous social programs you don't really need, but you're stuck with because you've already spent. Get rid of regulations. Get rid of the over-regulation. Oh, you can't because it's systemic to the system. That's what makes everything so expensive in these libtard-run cities. And it's pretty basic stuff. It's basic economics. Portland Metro Chamber released its annual State of the Economy report, noting on a forum Thursday morning that the region is now at and they're saying region, Portland region, is at a crucial inflection point, meaning if things go past this point, we're in some deep you-know-what. Oh, interesting. And if we don't do something, it's going to get worse. If we don't do anything, it's going to get worse. What do we do? What do we do? You need some leadership that can work its way up, but you don't have any. You don't have any. I shouldn't say that. You do. They're called Republicans. They're called conservatives. They understand what it takes to grow a business, keep a business, retain whatever businesses you've got going on, and make it more conducive for people to move there and start businesses. But you have so few of those in Portland. You're out of luck, guys. Out of luck. I think this doom loop goes on for a long time. You got 3,400 more births and deaths in 2024. That doesn't sound terrible. It sounds okay, doesn't it? 3,400. Oh, that's not bad. For a population of 700,000 like Portland, has, it's down from nearly 14,000 all the way back in 2001. So your numbers of all these really important metrics are just way, way down. You got a total of $6.4 billion in quarterly exports. That's down 36% from third quarter of 2024. Whoa. We went from $10 billion to $6.4 billion in quarterly exports. Oh, that's a drop. What happened? I don't know. Number of those moving out of the city has eased, but population growth has stalled. Nobody wants to have babies and raise them in Portland. Simple as that. And a lot of the constituents just aren't having babies because they can't. So there's that. And then people that are reasonable are looking around going, you know what? It's really expensive here. And we got homeless people running around all over. Businesses are leaving. Businesses are bankrupting. Might lose my job. Downtown core is a wasteland, a ghost land of commercial property. The big skyscrapers are all being sold for literally pennies on the dollar. 80% discounts to value just a few years ago are not uncommon. Your tax base is eroding. All of these are factors that people look at and go, I am not having any children here. I am not moving here. No go. It's this kind of number. But with current leadership, I mean, when you've got Boohoo Bob, you got the chief of police crying over potential arrest of Trende Aragua, known criminal gang members. When you've got that kind of leadership, when the chief of police cries over some nonsense, what do you expect? This is what you get. This is what you get. You got terrible leadership. You've got leadership dictating to Boohoo Bob that he needs to cry on cue over some just ridiculous stuff. Instead of being a man and arresting those who need to be arrested and hand them over to ICE. That's what you should be doing. But you're not going to do that because your constituents are just mental. Oh, we can't have that. We can't have child rapists being tossed from our community. We love them. And then you wonder, why is your vacancy factor so high? Yeah, because it's all related, right? Here's one number that I want to focus on for just 1 second here. And you might think that this is, who cares, Sean? Who cares? Well, it's important. Well, the one above it's important as well. The city continues to rank 80th or second to last in national real estate attractiveness. Hey, you want to invest in Portland? No. Anywhere else except Hartford, Connecticut. Oh, well, that's Portland. They're the only one that's worse. That's slightly less worse than Hartford, Connecticut. Portland, Oregon. Remember when Portland had Portlandia? Keep Portland weird? Yeah, Portland's getting weird. Weirdly without businesses. But the point I want to make here is the number of multifamily housing units in Portland's pipeline is 656, the lowest since 2011. Now, combination of factors there. None of them all that good, because what's going to happen is at some point you will have an uptick in your population. I think you will. And then, because you don't have any housing that you've brought onto the system, housing is inelastic, meaning the demand oftentimes doesn't keep up with the supply curve. It's just when you need the supply, okay, we're going to start now. And then you finally get the supply to where you want it, you build, you develop, you pull permits, all that stuff, which takes years. By the time you get the units actually up, that demand may not be there. It's inelastic. So by the time you need demand in Portland, for your multifamily housing units, which at the moment you don't. And you've also basically told every multifamily developer, we don't want you to build here because you got so much regulation and it's so expensive and you're so pro-tenant. What builder is going to want to build in Portland? What builder is going to want to build in Seattle? Our numbers are way, way down as well. King County's numbers are way, way down for multifamily housing permits, the pipelines. So when you've got 656 units, multifamily housing units in a city the size of Portland, that is horrific. At some point in time, your rents are absolutely going to go to the moon. Not now, because you don't need any. Your population base is barely keeping even. But at some point in time down the road, you're going to go, oh, good Lord. Rents, increase 20, 25%. You're going to have that happen like that because you don't have the numbers to sustain any kind of even normal trickle of development. So good luck with that. So damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? That is the pickle. That is the pickle that Portland has itself in right now. Pretty wild. I mean, you couldn't have written a script to more accurately hose a big North American city. And you've got a lot of conservative people that are basically saying, what do you think would happen? This isn't going to work out well. I mean, we've been saying that. I mean, since the pandemic, when you had all the nut jobs running around, defund the police, no kings. How's that working out, Portland? Not that great, right? And then, Portland is, when I go to Portland, I was watching a video on the mall I used to go to with my grandma when I was a kid. Portland was cool. I mean, I looked forward to going to Portland. And it's the Lloyd Mall. I looked forward to going to Portland because I always knew my grandma, she wasn't really in touch with money. So me and my brother, we could just buy whatever we wanted, right? My grandpa was a doctor, medical doctor in Longview, Washington, and he had a practice, and they did okay. And I get whatever I wanted. So I look forward to going to the mall in downtown Portland. We went to the Nordstrom, we went to the Frederick and Nelson, whatever those stores were, I can't remember. But Lloyd Center Mall is where we went, amongst other places, because my grandma, she just, go shopping. Let's go shopping. Let's go buy some stuff that we don't need. But we'd go school shopping. It was cool back then. And when you stay in Portland, you recognize, like Seattle, that there is some absolute crazy beauty there as well. And that's what makes this so sad. Portland could be so cool, but because of policy, because of terrible leadership, because of delusional thought, because of people just encouraging shenanigans, like protesting against ICE. What is wrong with you people? You guys are literally mentally delusional. And then you wonder, why aren't businesses staying here? I don't get it. We tax the absolute F out of them, and they don't stay. They can't make it go. We've got a big spike in business bankruptcies. Actions have consequences, right? I mean, it's so basic. It's so basic. And yet, we're going through the same thing here in Washington State. The exact same damn thing. Hey, let's tax the F out of millionaires. Let's tax the heck out of just statewide businesses. Let's load on $12 billion in taxes. We'll just see what happens. Businesses are going to leave. Billionaires are already leaving. Why wouldn't they? Let's get the heck out of Dodge. So Washington State, not far behind. Portland, already there. Tanked. Shenanigans tanked it. And now the constituents are going to sit around and look at each other and go, how can we untank this? How can we unshenanigan this? Can't. Damage is done. Need to get some better leadership. Your constituents won't do that. So, Portland, good luck out there. You're going to need it. And I'm going to podcast every little step of this way because this is what people need to see. When terrible decisions are made, these are the end results. So make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell. I'll see you in the next podcast. Thanks for joining. Bye for now.